Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. RHOC, does Janssen want a prenup with Alexis Bellino? Does Janssen want a prenup with his new fiancée, RHOC star Alexis Bellino? The two recently got engaged after being together for 9 months, and it has been quite a controversial relationship, to say the least. Now, the soon-to-be newlyweds are chatting about all things marriage. So will they get a prenup? Keep reading for more details. When Janssen was first introduced on RHOC, he was dating Shannon. It looked like she had found her happiness after her divorce from David and was on a good path. Then John changed, and he did not like the public eye or their relationship issues being talked about. That became a huge red flag as Shannon would drunk dial her co-stars to vent, and then deny that ever happened. They ended up breaking up, but soon reconciled per Shannon. She then got into her DUI hit and run, and was arrested, which led the couple to officially part ways. Within 2 months, John was romantically linked to RHOC alum Alexis Bellino. They were flaunting their romance all over social media despite Shannon claiming he was private. It was soon announced Alexis would be back on RHOC as a friend, but that made filming hard. John also slapped Shannon with a $75,000 lawsuit, yet she had alleged she paid for everything while they dated. Now he and Alexis are engaged. They are somewhat blackmailing Shannon, and it is awful. Still, there are questions about their future, like whether or not they will get a prenup. Alexis has been married twice before, whereas Janssen was previously married for nearly 2 decades. According to Reality T, he claims he does not want one with Alexis. She was a guest on WWHL on Thursday, September 12, and he was in the audience when the question was asked. After Andy Cohen asked him about it, he said no. As for Alexis changing her name, she said she would be taking on Janssen. WHL viewers who saw this moment were quick to comment about why Janssen does not want a prenup. Simply put, they think he is broke. What's the point of a prenup when he doesn't have any money? So she has more money than he does. Anyone with true wealth doesn't go after an ex got $70,000. She's probably getting a good amount of child support from Jim Bellino and alimony. Of course, he doesn't want to sign a prenup. Some believed that Alexis Bellino was the one with the real money, and that was why John was fine with no prenup. However, many just felt the two of them deserved each other. Do you think they will even make it down the aisle? In the glitzy and tumultuous world of the Real Housewives of Orange County, RHOC, love and relationships are never simple. With each new season comes the thrill of fresh romances, evolving dynamics, and of course, drama. This season, all eyes are on Janssen, Shannon ex-boyfriend, and his newfound relationship with former RHOC star Alexis Bellino. As the couple moves deeper into their relationship, rumors have swirled about one particularly hot-button topic. Does Janssen want a prenup with Alexis Bellino? The Orange County social scene was buzzing ever since the news of John and Alexis' relationship hit the headlines. Both stars, with their story pasts, came into this new chapter of their lives carrying the baggage of fame, wealth, and emotional scars from their previous marriages. John, fresh off his highly publicized breakup with Shannon, had become a familiar face to fans, while Alexis, having moved on from her ex-husband, Jim Bellino, had stayed largely out of the spotlight. Together, they represented a fusion of past and present RHOC drama, and naturally, the fans wanted to know what would come next. As the relationship between John and Alexis deepened, whispers of a prenup began to circulate. John, known for his pragmatic and no-nonsense approach, was reportedly cautious after his breakup with Shannon. While their split hadn't involved the messy financial battles that sometimes plague reality stars, John had seen firsthand how quickly things could change in the world of high-stakes reality TV. Entering into a serious relationship with Alexis, who had her own wealth and public profile, John was aware of the potential risks. A prenup seemed like a practical move, but would Alexis agree? Alexis Bellino, who had experienced a highly public divorce from Jim Bellino in 2018, was no stranger to the complexities of love and finances. Her marriage to Jim had been a defining storyline during her time on RHOC, and their eventual split was marked by legal battles over money and assets. Having gone through that ordeal, Alexis had emerged stronger, but also more cautious. The prenup conversation, while inevitable, wasn't one she took lightly. Friends close to the couple revealed that John had approached Alexis about the possibility of a prenuptial agreement early on in their relationship. For John, it wasn't about distrust or fear of Alexis's intentions. It was about protecting both of them. John's a businessman at heart, a source shared. He knows the value of being prepared for any outcome. He adores Alexis, but he's also seen enough to know that relationships can be unpredictable. The prenup is about making sure they both feel secure, no matter what happens. But for Alexis, the topic of a prenup brought up mixed emotions. While she understood John's perspective, her history with Jim Bellino made the idea of another legally bound agreement feel heavy. After all, her previous marriage had been riddled with accusations and court battles, which had taken a toll on her emotionally. Alexis wanted to trust in the future with John, but part of her couldn't help but feel like a prenup was a sign of preparing for failure. Alexis isn't against a prenup in principle. A close friend of Alexis confided. She gets why John would want one, especially after everything they've both been through. But it's hard for her to not feel like it's a safety net for a relationship that's supposed to be built on trust. She wants to believe that they'll make it, and the idea of planning for a breakup is emotionally tough for her. As the prenup discussions continued, John and Alexis' relationship faced its first real test. For John, it was a matter of practicality. For Alexis, it felt like a challenge to the trust they were building. Sources close to the couple said that they had several candid conversations about their differing viewpoints. John was empathetic to Alexis's feelings, but remained firm in his belief that a prenup was the right decision. Meanwhile, Alexis struggled to reconcile her emotions with the logic behind John's request. The couple's friends were divided on the issue as well. Some, like Heather Dubrow, reportedly supported John's decision to protect his assets. "It's smart, especially in Orange County," Heather had said to another housewife during a recent lunch. "You can't be too careful when there's that much money involved. It's not about love, it's about being prepared." Others, like Tamra Judge, were more sympathetic to Alexis's hesitations. "I get where she's coming from," Tamra shared in a confessional during a girls' trip. "She's been burned before. When you've gone through a messy divorce, it's hard not to feel like a prenup is setting yourself up for failure. But at the same time, I see why John wants it. They're both in the public eye, and that adds a whole other layer to things." As the debate continued, John and Alexis found themselves navigating the tricky waters of love, trust, and financial security. Both of them were determined to make the relationship work, but the prenup issue loomed large. Would they be able to reach a compromise, or would the pressure of legal agreements fracture the bond they were building? At the end of the day, the prenup conversation was just one of many challenges the couple would face as they moved forward. In the world of RHOC, relationships are always under the microscope, and every decision, no matter how personal, becomes fodder for public speculation. But for John and Alexis, the future was still unwritten. Whether they signed on the dotted line or not, They were determined to write their own love story, one that wasn't defined by contracts or past heartbreaks, but by the hope of a new beginning.